Welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself, a corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, five-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. Tonight, we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Jamie Miller. A little bit about her. Jamie Miller has been described as one of the most powerful women in entrepreneurship. With an extensive knowledge in brand management and development, Jamie brings passion, creativity, and diplomacy to everything she touches. A native of Pageland, South Carolina, and graduate of Johnson C. Smith University with a Bachelors of Science degree in marketing, Jamie has the keen ability to see unconventional potential in others, utilizing her knowledge and resources to take them to the next level. The creator and owner of the 518 Group, a branding, event marketing, and media liaison company, Jamie's clients list over the years reads like a who's of beauty, wellness, music, sports, entertainment, and culture. Her laser-sharp instincts have helped her clients navigate the choppy waters of branding while protecting them, growing their visibility, amplifying their voices, projects, and business ventures worldwide. Embodying the essence of her core message of servitude as a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Jamie is driven by her mission to promote personal and professional growth and sustain the spirit of leadership and community. Through her nonprofit organization, Project First Inc., Jamie annually awards a graduating senior a $500 scholarship towards tuition or books. She is also the founder of Dear Sister Charlotte, an annual millennial brunch that connects women in the community through service and action to promote sustainability, financial responsibility, business development, and productivity. Most recently, Jamie was recognized with the proclamation for Jamie Miller Day on May 18, 2019, in her hometown because of her encouragement of education and empowerment to youth in her community. She also served as Minority Director for Pageland Chamber of Commerce with a focus in women and small business. Jamie continually fulfills her passions through speaking, writing, workshops, seminars, and community service, and is a living proof that if you stay authentic in your journey, you can always make your dream a reality. Welcome to the table, the amazing Jamie Miller.
Wow. God is good and amazing, right?
You are, and he is good.
Oh, my goodness. Listen to my bio. It just seems like, I have to give glory to him for each and everything. And everything that you basically read off is he's the source. So it starts with him. I'm so very thankful for that.
Yes, and he is the source, and he gets all the credit. And I just want to commend you for all the amazing things that you are doing.
Thank you so much. It's been a long journey, a long, amazing journey. I'm very grateful for it, very humble, grateful, and extending myself gratitude. Absolutely.
Yes. So please tell us, Jamie, more about your entrepreneur journey.
So my entrepreneur journey started back in 2012. Previously, before I started my journey, I worked in spirit, so it was the beverage industry, and I was a field representative marketer for different beverage companies in the liquor industry. So what we would do during the day is I would be a sales rep by day, which I would sell the brands into restaurants and clubs and places, and then at night we would go and do promotional marketing for those specific brands. So prior to me starting my entrepreneur journey, that's where I started in corporate. I was there for about 2 years. And, I really felt like I was being put in a box for just the creativity that I had. And for that, I just basically told my boss that I wanted to quit. There was a few other discrepancies that happened in the space of where I was in. And I just left. I went out on a whim. And I said, I'm going to do this. If I'm going to take this jump, this leap, I might as well do it. And October of 2012 is when I left. I moved back from Greenville, South Carolina, is where I was living, the corporate job, and then I moved back to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I started. So November of 2012 is when I had my first, experience as an entrepreneur. So I've been in this I just celebrated 7 years this past November.
Well, super congratulations on this journey of yours and just all the great things you've done within the 7 years. You've done a lot. It's pretty
yeah. It doesn't seem like it, but I've listened to what you're reading and just thinking over it. I have. It has a lot, and I'm, looking forward to so much more.
Yes, and you're also passionate about unconventional potential others and fulfilling their knowledge and resources to take them to the next level. So tell us more about your passion for helping others and helping them get to the next level.
So passion and for me is a huge thing. I'm a giver, I'm a nurturer by nature. And for that, I love what we call helping others cross. I love being that connecting piece. So, my tag is I feel like I'm a conduit. I can connect others to the resources and spaces and places where I need to be. I'm never selfish about sharing my resources, sharing the knowledge, sharing the people that I come in contact with in my network, because they've been connected to me for a reason. So I want to share in that and to help others. And because of that, it's allowed me to be in rooms, to be at tables that, maybe prior to being an entrepreneur, I never would have thought. I'd seen places that I would go, people that would actually know who I am before I even get to them, random strangers that would say, I've been watching you, thank you for what you do, we appreciate it. And it's all authentic, it's all organic, it's truly out of love, out of me being genuine, just because of who I am. So for that, that's a very huge and important ingredient of how I progress forward, is specifically because I have a passion for it. Even if I was not paid a dime, it was something that I would still do because of service. And I'm a really big person on servitude, and I know that servitude has allowed me to transcend even in times when I felt like I was stagnant.
And serving is so important. I'm a big person and I'm a big believer in serving others, right? It takes, helping somebody else win is going to take nothing from you, right? And that's what most people, I think, have to learn when you're definitely trying to get to the next level. You should be a servant leader, right? You should be willing to serve and give to others. Because what you make happen for them, God will make happen for you. So
absolutely.
Tell us more about, why is serving so important, especially in entrepreneurship.
From day one, when I first started to think about my journey and what it looks like, let me go back. So about 2 years ago, I started thinking about legacy. We all up here on this earth, we all have our special talents that, God has given us, and we're supposed to act on those talents. And for that, my important thing that I started thinking about is when I'm gone, which we all, have to leave and transition one day, what will my legacy be? What will people say about me? What will my name sound like, or what would it be, once I'm no longer here? And then for that, it was, what type of impact would you want to put in the heart and the minds and the lives of others for them to continue the work? Because that's what it is. The service work, somebody has to continue it once we transition. So in terms of serving, it gives me full love just to see other people being serviced in a way to where they cannot do for themselves. I don't boast. I don't brag about it. It's just, again, by nature, because I am a nurturer, to help people get to a point that can at least get them started. So, there's people that might start from zero, or they might be somewhere in the middle. But if I can be that connecting piece, or just, give them a little push to help them move forward, then that satisfies me. And, for some people, they kind of look for those accolades or that part of recognition, but that's not really how I look at it. For me, it's if I can help you and serve you in some type of formality, then that means that it comes back to me. Your blessings that you'll receive have nothing to do with the blessings that I'm going to receive. So two totally different things. So I don't look at it as taken away from anybody. taking away light from anyone, being under anyone's shadow. Like, we all are truly, have our own gifts. And for that, we just have to make sure that we manifest on what those things are.
I love that, and I love how you shine light on that because that is so important. So you have extensive knowledge, Jamie, in brand management and development, and you have been described as one of the most powerful women in entrepreneurship. So please tell us more.
Yes. So my undergrad degree is in marketing. I have a BS in marketing from the great Johnson C. Smith University. I am a 2007 graduate. So initially, I started out in entertainment marketing. And entertainment marketing, it was more of like a space where it's a very small circle, and then in entertainment marketing, it's more like events where I used to do concerts. I would do meet and greets. We did everything from pop-up shops, just anything in that perspective. So then I started to get more experience working with brands. And then even more in depth, I started working with music artists. So for that, learning that side to marketing was a little bit different to when I transitioned into like business to business marketing. It's a different industry. There's different messaging that goes along with that. So in the last 7 years, as you heard from, you reading from my bio, I've been in the entertainment industry. I've been in beauty. I've been in wellness. I was personal assistant to a very popular, celebrity just recently, a top number one DJ from the South Atlantic region, which is our area. I worked with him for 5 years in just brand visibility. So from all of that, it's all about experience. When you think of branding, you think of a promise. Branding is a promise that you are giving to your customer, to your consumer, to your audience. It's your promise. So, branding has become a buzzword. We know marketing has become a buzzword. All these buzzwords are fancy, and it just seems like it's an oversaturated market of what it means. So to me, I make it very, I make it very basic when explaining it. Is whatever you or however you present yourself, think about your reputation. That's what your brand is going to be. So if you're a person that is not a good giver or a great getter, then that's going to be a part of your brand. If you are authentic to your word and you back up what you say, then that's going to be a part of your brand. Brands evolve, brands change over time, but you have to make sure that you can show people what that evolution looks like. Otherwise, your brand becomes boring and people move to the next thing. The biggest part of branding is you want to create some type of emotional connection, and you want to make sure that there's loyalty there. We're loyal to the brands without even thinking about it. I'm loyal to a specific type of soap that I use. I'm very loyal to a specific type of toothpaste that I use because over the years, it has not done me wrong. Even if it may have done me wrong, I'm still loyal to that brand, so that's what I stick with. And we don't think about that in everyday life. There are very specific brands that you love that you will not deter from. And if you look around your house, if you look in your car, places that you eat, you've grown an emotional connection to specific brands based on how it made you feel. So that's the important part when it comes to branding. Now, for marketing, it's the way I'm going to get you to be loyal to that brand. So a lot of people, they confuse marketing, publicity, and advertising. So PR is visibility that you receive or you is basically earned. Earned publicity is what public relations is. It's earned publicity. So if you're going on a PR tour or, a media run, that's what it is. It's earned publicity. People want to know more about what you have going on. If it's marketing, that means that, okay, I have to figure out a way to grab your attention. So we're going to market the product. Advertising is paid media. So there's a difference, earned media versus paid media. Paid media is, think about like your commercials and things like that. So a lot of people trying to jumble all three together and say, oh, they're all the same thing, PR, marketing, advertising, but it's not. So I always like to clarify when, others think that PR and marketing are the same. They go together as like a family, but they're not the same.
See, I'm glad that you broke it down for our listeners that are listening so they can know the difference between branding and marketing, right? And you got to get your brand together, and then you got to be loyal, like you said, to the marketing side. So it takes a combination of both, right? And both of them are important. So thanks for shining light there.
Not a problem. I get the question so much. They're like, hey, so you do PR? And I'm like, no, I don't do PR. PR is public relations. I'm not a PR. That's not what it means. So, just a little terminology to just make sure that people are understanding, because the lines are very blurred in that space between PR, marketing, and advertising.
Right. And that's why you have to do your research, listeners, and really know what you are signing up for.
Absolutely.
So you can have those expectations, for what you signed up for. Because you are right. A lot of people hire publicists, but they're really looking for branding and marketing, or vice versa.
Yes. Yes. Or they don't have anything to publicize. You also have to think about it that way. The biggest thing with publicity is interest. Would people be interested in whatever it is that you want to speak about? What is your story that's going to have someone drop everything and want to be a part of it? I believe in working in media that all publicity may not look good, but it could be for a benefit to you. Because even sometimes bad publicity is good publicity. Think about a very prime example right now with the Peloton bike. They're calling it bad advertising, but it's still publicity because more people want to know, why is this such a bad ad? But I didn't think it was a bad ad. But it's still giving them visibility, and it's still giving them publicity for a product that people may not even been aware of, So you got to look at it that way. Sometimes, even though it may look or create the story as being bad, it turns out being good because then other people are actually drawn to whatever it is that we're speaking on.
Absolutely. So I hope that our listeners are writing these nuggets down, because Jamie is giving us some free knowledge. So take notes. So you are the creator and owner of the 518 Group. So please tell us more about your company and the services that you offer. I know you probably spoke on a little bit of it, but talk to us more about that and how we can, support you. And, if anybody's interested in your services, how can they get in contact?
Absolutely. So we're based out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Originally, I'm from South Carolina, but between North and South Carolina, I travel between both states. Simply because I live on the border between the two states. So it's very easy for me to travel between the two. 518 is very, very special and precious to me because the number's 518. It's actually my birthday. I'm a May baby, so I was born in May. So May 18th is my birthday, and that's the significance behind the 518 Group. And thank you for saying the 518 Group. Some people say 518, some people say 518. Either or is still, the agency. So through my agency, I work with my clients to help them craft a very specific message for their audience. So if you're a business and you're having trouble finding your clients, finding customers, trying to figure out exactly what you want to say, then I help you to create that messaging. Then we curate a campaign or campaigns behind that messaging to help you basically to increase your, visibility and then generate revenue. That's the simplest way to put it without, trying to create some intricate sentence for the audience. It's basically me helping you to find who your paying customers will be, and then you create messaging for them to then buy your product and purchase your product.
I love that. So definitely, if you all are in need of her services, support Jamie. She's, like I stated, she is somebody to know, somebody to connect with, who is doing some amazing things, and she has the results. So definitely follow her, connect with her, and support her company. You are also the CEO and founder of Project First Incorporated. Please tell us more about your nonprofit and how we can support and get involved.
Yeah, so going back really quickly, my website for the 518 Group is www.the518group.com. So that's THE518GROUP.com. And you can also follow me on social media. That's at the 518 Group, both Facebook and Instagram. So with Project First, it's my service organization back home in South Carolina. The focus is education and empowerment. First means future, inspire, respect, self-esteem, and teach. I'm from a very small area, a very underprivileged area, and we have a very small amount of resources for our area. However, I saw that as an opportunity to give back, which is, again, something very important to me is servitude. So a really big thing that I do, I call it the give back. So every year I host an annual basketball tournament for my community in which we raise money to then award a senior that is interested in higher education a $500 scholarship. The $500 scholarship can go towards their books. It can go towards tuition, whatever their needs are, or if they have a financial need for higher ed, then, I award the scholarship. And the biggest part of servitude is that in that space is others have seen the impact that it's made on the community. And so it's ignited a fire in them to be able to give back as well. So when people see what you do and the results of that and the impact that it makes, then it, creates a charge within them to want to do the same. So I'm very fortunate to be able to have a community that supports me, have people that lit the torch and basically passed it to me to continue the work. So in that space, it actually helped me to even get the proclamation for Jamie Miller Day, which is something that, again, I started thinking about legacy and what that looks like. So due to the fact that I do have Jamie Miller Day, it's now something that I can celebrate. Others can celebrate and say, hey, there was an impact. We created something, and now let's continue to do the work. And all it is I really just want to help the young kids in my community know that, academics is important. Mental is everything. It'll take you further than, maybe sometimes where athletics may not be able to take you. If you're academically strong and you're athletically strong, those are a great pair, but the academics can take you further when you can't lean on the athletics. So that's the biggest thing for me is the education and empowerment piece. I want to educate our young community on what that looks like and then empower them to then lead the next generation.
I love that because I'm a big believer in giving back to our younger generation as well with my nonprofit. I'm loving that you're doing that. And you have a proclamation named after you, Jamie Miller. That's pretty big.
Yeah. So I got the announcement on my father's birthday. My father's deceased, and his birthday is 2/12. So earlier this year, I got the announcement on 2/12, so February 12th. But then I announced it during Women's History Month, which I thought was another great way to say, look at the impact, look at the strides that we've made as women, not only in my community, but for the women that came before me. And I gave them recognition as well. One of the oldest ladies of my church, she's actually my Sarah as well. She's a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, and she passed away. But she made such a big impact on my life that I felt like I owed it to her as my ancestor to be able to say, thank you for starting the work. And now I want to be the next person to continue the work. And hopefully I'll inspire others to then carry the torch after I've transitioned, hopefully, to make an impact for others. So that was a really big highlight of my 2019 was to be able to say that I have my very own proclamation in my community.
I love that. It's so amazing. Congratulations on that again.
Thank you. I still can't believe it. I'm like, wow, the little girl that dreamed, so much now has her very own day that she can frame and, tell her kids and her grandkids and be proud about it and know that, she made an impact in her community just by doing the work.
Mm-hmm. I'm so glad that you said doing the work. For everybody that's listening, we can't win if we don't work. Do the work. Please.
Yes. Stop with in 2020, focus on the work. No matter where you are, just make sure you are doing the work. I promise your time will come whatever that looks like. Just stay down for the journey. It's not easy. It's not sugar-coated. It's not going to be all sprinkles and stars. You're going to have your down days. You're going to have your tough weeks, tough months. Stay listed, stay grounded with people that will have your best interest at heart. If you are a person that prays and you're very spiritual, pray about it. If you need to be still and listen. If you need to journal it out. What I've learned in these last 2 years of, maturing and understanding more about my journey and my growth and my purpose in my entrepreneur space is that having the right people around you will help you and they won't harm you. And it's okay to cut your circle down to maybe 2 to 3 people that are going to be your accountability partners that will speak life over what you have and what you're trying to birth, because we all want that recognition and that glory. But when your highlight reel is over, who's left? Because there are going to be days where those behind the scenes are ugly and nobody wants to show the behind the scenes. They want to give you the highlight reel. So understand that when they show that highlight reel, they're not really zooming in on what the behind the scenes look like. That could be somewhere in a corner crying your eyes out because nothing went right for you that month, or, you don't have money to eat or money to pay your bills with. So, I don't like to boast about a struggle story because we do want to speak life over, prominence and progression. But, entrepreneurship is a journey. And it's not for the faint of heart, and it's not for the weak. Your mental definitely has to be strong for entrepreneurship. Yeah.
And that's why it's so important, and for our listeners that are listening, that you don't envy anybody. Don't be jealous of nobody, because you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know what they had to lose in their losing season. And that's why you have to, you should celebrate everybody, right? Because you don't know.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
And your circle.
Yes, you celebrate everybody. Yes. Celebrate, even if you can't. And I had a conversation with my best friend this morning. Hi, Monique. That's my best friend. I don't know if she's listening or not, but I had a conversation with her this morning. Is what we also have to understand is that we have to show up for people in the way that we know how, not how we're expected to show up. Because then when we create those expectations, we're disappointed when people don't show up in the way that we expected them to show up. So show your friends, show your family, show your acquaintances, whoever that you're trying to show up for them in the way that you know how to show up. If you can't show up for them monetary or physically, show up for them spiritually, show up for them by sharing their information, tell somebody about them. It doesn't always have to be a financial situation. Just show up for people how you know how to. And then over time, you being present, it gets better. It grows. I think we're at a space where we're putting so much stress on others, or we're putting so much weight and criticism on others for how they're not showing up for us when we're not even showing up for ourselves. So we have to understand that doing that and creating a space where we can have those people around us, we grow and we water and we nurture. And then from there, so many beautiful things can blossom.
Yes, showing up. Thank you for talking about it, because those who show up, go up. And then our environment, like you stated, is so important. That circle can make or break you. And as you elevate, you're right, your circle's going to get smaller, and you have to have the right people around you. You do.
Yes, absolutely.
And you are the CEO and founder of Dear Sister Charlotte. So please tell us more about your Millennial Brunch and how we can get involved and support.
Wow. So Dear Sister started way back in 2012. It initially started as an idea to celebrate Sister to Sister magazine in her 25th year. So I was creating an event with a partner of mine to celebrate to celebrate Sister to Sister magazine. And the owner is Amy Foster Brown. I read her magazine all throughout my short corporate career. I would always buy Sister to Sister, I would buy Essence, I would buy Black Enterprise, and I would buy a Source magazine. Those are my magazines that I would buy. Why I spent so much money on magazines, I do not know. But those were my 4 core magazines that I would buy. And I held on to the idea for 5 years. It took me 5 years to launch Dear Sister, strictly because I was so afraid of how people would receive it. And finally, I went to an event in Atlanta one year, and I had a conversation with the lady, and she was like, if you don't do this by the specific date, you don't take yourself serious, I don't take you serious. And from that, it just really lit a fire under me, and it was like, it's either now or never. Jump off the bridge. And that's what I did. So I just reached out to, women that were very close to me that have been instrumental, in my entrepreneurship journey, women that I saw, growing in their entrepreneurship journeys, and where we can share that platform together. So I invited 6 of those women to come and speak. I initially, goaled myself at about 50 to 75 women. I had over 100 women in attendance. It's grown tremendously since 2017. That was the first year that I had the event. 2020 will be my 4th year having it. I've, cultivated a room of over 500 women collectively between those last 3 years of being together. It's a day to celebrate each other. It's a day to lean on each other, to love each other, to learn from each other. I mean, we empower, which is at the highest level of empowerment, absolutely. But the real core part to it is that we're in a safe space to where we can learn from each other. I want to do more. Empowerment is amazing. Empowerment is wonderful. But I want to help share the resources that I have with my sisters, because to that, we're not doing enough of it. I would never selfishly hold on to information that I know that another woman can benefit from. Why? Because it's not taking anything away from me. It's more that we're sharing it so we can all gain from that. So Dear Sister Charlotte, and I call it Dear Sister Charlotte, is because it's my open letter to these women saying, you are enough, you are worthy, you are powerful within yourself. Show up for yourself and know that if you don't, we have a tribe that is here to support you. So throughout the last 3 years, I've connected accountability partners, I've connected prayer partners, I've connected business partners, women that have become besties. It's an event to where you look forward to it, specifically because we are pure, we're authentic, we're going to have fun, we're going to eat, we're going to cry, we're going to laugh, and we're going to celebrate. And that's just what it's about. It's a great way to start the year. It's an amazing amount of energy that's in the room. I bring women together from the city. That way they know that once they leave the event, they can connect with those women after the event. It's not that I'm flying in people from other places, because collectively where we are great together. And that's what Dear Sister is about.
I love that. I love the vision, the purpose, everything about that. And super congratulations on all of that and creating that space for us to know that it's collaboration over competition, right? We can all win.
Absolutely. I would not be so far if it was not for collaboration. I don't believe in competition. Competition is great because, there's sometimes where you might need to step it up a little bit, but you don't take that and allow that to supersede the overall vision of what you're trying to create. Competition is good because it keeps you on your toes, but collaboration is even better because look how powerful we are when it's 5 to 1.
Look how powerful we are, right? We can get so much more done, right? And then also, even when your sister is winning, and it may not, like you said, it might not be your time, still be happy, celebrate her, because when she wins, you win.
Yes, we all have a season. And again, if you're not celebrating in the season, support in that season. Even sit back and allow things to marinate in that season. Because again, we all have our highs and lows. And what we have to understand, collectively as a unit, both men and women, is that being more open in communication of how we can show up for others and physically doing just that is enough. You don't have to go above and beyond. Just show up if you're going to show up. And if not, just say why you know what, I can't do this right now. And that's okay. You don't have to make these extravagant promises or, be committed to things that you're just not ready for. And that's another space that we have to understand, is giving people the time to process things, because it's very heavy for a lot of us right now. So extend yourself that grace, allow yourself that mental space, and give yourself time to process, and it's fine.
I love that. So you built multiple tables for yourself. So I asked all of my guests this question: how did you create your seat at the table?
Being fearless. I think I've been fearless ever since I can imagine. I was in kindergarten. I never forget this story. I was supposed to take home this teddy bear, and my teacher flipped my name on the popsicle stick, and instead of it being me, it went to someone else. But then I argued with her that my name was picked from the popsicle first. So I've always challenged things, specifically because I know that greatness lies in all of us. Sometimes people don't see the greatness in you. You have to see it in yourself. So even at a very young age, like, I've just wanted to be the person to just help others. And sometimes you're not going to be invited to that table. But, you know, as you mentioned, in creating my own seat at the table, it's just been from me getting out of my own way. I struggle with that a lot. And because I know the power that I possess within myself and just the ideas that I have, I've just created those spaces and invited other people to join with me or help them create their own tables themselves. So from that, it's just really being researching, looking at things to where I might be of service to it, and saying, you know what, let's do this, and just jump right into it. It's not going to be perfect the first go around. You're going to have to tweak some things. You're going to have to take some things out, add some things. But again, you know, I just love putting the recipe, getting the ingredients together to create the recipe. That's how I say it.
I love that. I love that you said you make room for others, right? Because that's what we should be doing, making room for others at the table, helping other people build their tables as well, and understanding that, you know, it's not going to take anything away from us, right? So, and when you're doing that, people will invite you to their tables. You know, when you're building your own stuff, people going to want you to come to their table. They're going to want to come to your table. So absolutely. I'm glad that you shed light on that.
Thank you.
So what did failure teach you on your journey? A lot of people don't like the process, right? But the process is necessary. So what did failure teach you on your journey?
Failure teaches me that it's not the end. A lot of times we feel like failure is the end of it, and it's not. Failure, we look at it as a stepping stone, as a learning, as a learning technique. We can fail. We're afraid to fail because we don't want to do it publicly. We want others to criticize us or to ridicule us for our failures. But if we don't fail, how do we know how to progress forward? A lot of times we want things to be so perfect and so 100%, but sometimes the failures come, so then we know not to make that same mistake again. I welcome failure. Failure creates character. It builds character. It allows you to move forward and know that there's others that are failing as well. And when you're honest about it, you can figure out ways to move on and not harbor on what that failure looks like. If you think negatively about being a failure, then that's going to manifest in the things that you want to do moving forward. If you say, you know what, I failed at this, but I'm going to move forward. Or you change the language to, you know what, I made this mistake, or I did this and now I know how to move forward. That's fine, because again, we're not perfect and we're put on this earth to try things. Be a risk taker, take risks, and from those risks comes reward. So if you never take the risk, you'll never know what the reward looks like. And we don't want to be a person that says, I should have did this when I had the time to do it. Do it now. What Will Smith say? Fail forward. You know, when you fail forward, then you don't have to worry about looking back.
I love that. And I tell people, you know, don't be afraid to shoot your shot, right? You know, you might get some no's, but keep going. Shoot your shot.
Yes, because I've shot plenty of times, and 9 times out of 10, I'm probably about 80%, 85%, maybe even 90% with shooting my shots. So, be bold. And that's another part of what I say for Dear Sister is be bold, be unapologetic, be you. When people see that, they gravitate to that because that's positive energy, that's natural energy, that's organic energy. So when you're not afraid to fail in front of others, when you're not afraid to be raw and show who you are, people are building an emotional connection to that. And you know what that is? That's branding. That's branding yourself to be authentic and walk in your exact purpose of who you're supposed to be.
Yes, and that is so, so, so important. So, and for our people that, like you said, shoot it, rejection is part of it, keep going, and keep going. So what did success teach you? Because you're very, very successful.
Success taught me that it's whatever definition I create for it to be. Success could be specifically me graduating high school. Success could be, me graduating or being a first-generation college student out of my family. Success is whatever we make it. We don't need to romanticize what success looks like because, again, we see highlight reels, but we never are exposed to behind the scenes. Success can be simply just waking up and making your bed for the day or completing your goals for the week. I love to listen to others' definitions of what success means because, again, we all have our ideas. I would say we all have our thing of what success looks like. But if I can accomplish my goals and what I set forward and put my visions to fruition, that's what success looks like to me. So if I set a goal for this year, I wanted to change some of the clients that I work with. I'm successful because I was able to then add on newer clients that gave me a challenge. That was what success looked like for me. Success for me is closing out my 2019, knowing that in 2020, I have clients that I'm still going to be able to work with in the new year. Success is however we define it and by what we want it to be, not by what others perceive it to be, but what it is to us.
Yes, I love that. What it means to you. That is so important. So I hope our listeners are writing that down because that was real good. So will you please tell our listeners, Jamie, what can we expect from you the rest of 2019? We are in December. We're in the fourth quarter, and I know you're going to finish it strong.
So what I'm working on now is hosting. This will be my second year with a partner of mine. We are doing an ugly Christmas sweater drive in partnership with the Charlotte Housing Authority, which is, of course, they help families who are displaced in the Charlotte area and provide housing for them. So I'm very fortunate to collect toys and gifts for some of our younger babies in the community and be able to give them toys so that they can have a special Christmas and receive things on Christmas Day. That's one event that I'm working on. And then I'm just planning. Right now I'm planning very hardcore for Dear Sister, which is next month, January. I can't believe the end of the year is here. And just really prepping mentally and then just preparing myself for closing out a very strong year. It started off kind of slow for me, but by the second half of the year, especially in the third quarter, things really picked up. I'm doing great planning for my clients that I'm working with right now, helping them with their visibility and just, their marketing campaigns. So right now I'm just in a great stride. I'm almost on autopilot with how things are going. I'm learning more. I'm reading literature. I'm watching courses, doing courses and things, just really trying to strengthen the knowledge that I have in this industry. It's ever changing every day. Marketing, there's a new marketing article out. There's a new marketing strategy or system. So for me, I just want to continue to just learn and read and make sure that I'm applying those things and metrics to how I work in my business.
Well, super congratulations in advance on all the great things that you have going on. I look forward to collaborating with you and working, showing up at your Dear Sister Charlotte event. So I look forward to meeting you in January. So congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much. I'm so very thankful. Truly.
You are welcome. So please, will you please tell our listeners how they can follow you and support you on all social media platforms?
Yes. So again, my social is at the 518 group, and those are the numbers 518. So that's THE 518 GROUP. That is on Instagram. That's on Facebook. You can also follow me at Dear Sister, which is Dear Sister CLT. So that's DEARSISTERCLT. And that's also on Instagram and Facebook. And you can also check online at www.the518group.com.
So definitely follow her, support her on all platforms, support all the great things that Jamie is doing for our listeners that are listening. Jamie, I would like to thank you for taking the time out of your very, very busy schedule to come to the table. This has been an amazing interview, and I cannot wait to invite you back.
Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate it.
You are welcome. I look forward to continuing to work with you in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
You are welcome. So I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins Marquis and John Schamberger. I would also like to give a special thanks to author Kimberly McLemore and my intern, Sarah, from Tennessee State University, and my intern, Vontaria, from Winston-Salem State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.